And today we're going to do a little bit of reaction drills. First we're going to work on the upper gate. And these are the practical exercises that we do that follow our teachings under the 16 basics. One of the first things that we like to do whenever we come out here is we show proper respect to those people that give us Wing Chun, the Shaolin Temple and the founders of Wing Chun, by saluting. So we'll start with the salute. Ready? Salute. Then we'll get right into it. One of the 16 basics that we teach right away is called Tan Dar. It's a Lin Seal Dai Dar, which means attack and defend technique in Cantonese. We start with round punches and round kicks before we teach the straight punches and straight kicks, because a round punch and a round kick is slower in getting to its point. It's easy to see. The quickest way to get to somebody is a straight line. If you go a circular route, it's going to be much slower. Okay, we'll start off with my left hand. I'm going to do a round punch to his face, and Michael is going to exhibit what we call Tan Dar. Okay? The important points of Tan Dar is that from a square position, okay, he's going to be defending against my left hand, so he'll turn and Tan with his right and punch with his left. It's important that you pivot 45 degrees on your feet, that your hip is over your heel of your back foot. The weight should be distributed about 80-20. 80% on the back foot, 20% on the front. You should easily be able to lift your front foot without breaking your shape. Okay, so we'll start with the left. Okay, we'll go real slow. Okay, hit my hand. Okay, again. Okay, I'm blowing the air out because I want him to blow his air out when he strikes. It's important not only to have perfect form, but also to have good breathing. It will save you in a fight if you develop good techniques early on. Okay, again. Okay, next time, hold it. Okay, hold it. Okay, you can see there's just this ever so slight correction here. I brought his elbow in. It was out here like this. Okay, a lot of people do that. But if you leave your elbow out, you leave your ribs exposed. Okay? So you... Good hit. Okay, back. Okay, now if he put his hand out to hit me, don't turn. Just put your hand out straight. Okay, he can't hit me here. Okay, now I'm going to stay right here. Now, back up. I backed up. Okay? Watch. Okay, I backed up this far. Now I'm going to throw the punch at him. Start again. With the pivot, you're going to see his arm get longer. Watch. See? He didn't step forward, and I didn't step forward. Because he pivoted, his arm increased in that much length. Okay? That's a very important principle in Wing Chun that you need to understand, because it's not just your arm hitting. Not just your arm hitting. It's your whole body fighting. Again, I'm going to step back, and we're going to do a few of these drills at random. First, I'll go to his right side with my left. Then I'll come back from the other side. Ready? Aha! I caught him. Okay, hold it. Bring his elbow in. Good. Okay. Again. Okay, if it's important as a Wing Chun instructor of Sifu to give your students an opportunity to grow. If you go too fast, you're going to just clock them. And that's not going to work. They're not going to learn. They're not going to want to come back to you. And the Wing Chun system won't survive. You have to train progressively. We start slow. Not too much power. And as we get better, we come a little bit harder. And give them a good look. If you don't punch hard and make them feel like they're really defending, they never really acquire an ability to defend themselves. Okay, we'll go to the other side. Okay, so this is from a stationary position. Okay, if Mikhail throws a punch at me, I can use Tandar with a step again. You notice I stepped and punched. Okay, and I didn't step with the punching hand. But you can go either way. Okay, same punch. Now I stepped with the punching hand. Okay? You have to learn how to thread the needle whichever way works for you. You should never have a fixed idea of what you're going to do. You should just react to what your opponent does. Okay? Musashi said that was the epitome of the void concept. You should be in a void. Okay? Again, punch. That's with the step, that way. Okay, and I can step this way. Again. Going forward. Okay, or this way. And if you remember the arrow punch, punch with this side, from this side. Okay, if you remember the arrow punch, it looks a lot like this. Again. I thought you were still on the other side. Okay, that's all right. That's what I wanted to show you. The arrow punch used like Tandar with the step. Okay? So, the pivot is important, but it's also important to engage. In Wing Chun, once our opponent strikes at us, there, that's from the outside, we like to control this arm. We don't let him have that arm back. We'll take a lop salve. That's these two fingers, like this, and pull them. Break his shape. Okay? Punch him at the same time. Come back again for another one. There are a lot of little places where you can inflict a lot of pain and a lot of damage. Plus you learn how to turn the wrist and turn the arm and step on your opponent and shove him down. And also, when he turns his back like that, turn right here. If you hit somebody right there with your knee as hard as you can, he may not ever walk again. It's important to know. Okay? It's important to know because if you get in the habit of turning your back on your opponent, you may get kicked in the ass. And that's what I want you to know. Okay? The next technique that we're going to work on is Pakdar. Okay? Now this one, unlike the round punch, is used primarily against a straight punch. As you punch at me, this is from the outside. I'm on his outside. I trap his hand on the inside. Okay? Again. But I can just as well go this way. And that's on the inside. Again. 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 Okay. Now it's his turn to have a few drills. Okay? Ready? We start slow. Okay? Now that was jump. Okay? Again, throw the punch. Jump sao. Okay? Now jump sao, you can do that. Okay. Jump sao punch is a lot like pak sao punch. Okay, depending on your height, some moves are easier to use. Like when from here to here, jump saw is easier to use than Pak. Yeah, Pak works better up here, but down here you use jump saw, or Kam saw. Okay, press. Okay, so we're going to go back to Pak Dar. Okay. Again, we'll do it again. Touch me. Okay. This way is outside. Again. This way is inside. Ready? I'll go real slow. Okay. Inside. Out. That. Outside. Outside. Yeah, there it is. There we go. It's a tough concept. This is exactly why we teach the round punches first, before we do the straight punches. Okay. Good. What's the step? I do, as you punch at me. But I step in. Okay. You notice, remember when you were doing the first set, you do this part with Fu Sao, and Hyun Sao, and Wu Sao, and Jump? Okay. This is how I catch your hand. Okay. When you pump, it's almost like I'm doing Wu Sao Jump Sao, right? But it's actually a Pak, okay? Now it's your turn. Okay. Again. Okay. You want to see the outside, I mean the inside again? Okay. It doesn't matter above or below, you know, depending on your height. For you and me, yeah, you probably want to go above. Okay, ready? Let's go. Okay, outside. Again, outside. Oh, that's Tandar. Again, Pak Dar. Good. Again. 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 How about this side? Ready? Good. You got to make them work. If you just let your arm flop, okay, like this, they're not learning anything. But if you put your arm out there and you hold it, they have to learn to push it. Okay, again, when you punch it deep, okay, just jam it. Good. Good. Like outside better too, huh? Outside is better for me. Oh, that's okay. How about this side? Okay. Okay. Now that one was just a little bit different. Okay. When you punch, this is called Hyun. Hyun Sao. Hyun Sao. You notice the cats when they fight, they love Hyun Sao. When you come. What? See? Again. And that's exactly how my cats fight. They grab, and then they strike.
I'm more control without knowing it.
Well, it's covering.
I'm pushed it down so I can get my arm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit I have to lock up.
You'll find that it's not one of my favorite techniques, although I use it when I'm in close, in Chi Sao. I use it, but it's not one of my favorite techniques. Normally, if you're coming that close to me, I will use Hyun and Hyun Sao punch. Or I will use, again, Han Kam Sao punch.
It's like Tai Chi. Roll back.
Well,
Roll back.
there's a saying in Wing Chun, okay? It says, absorb what comes, okay? Follow what retreats. And when there's a breaking contact kick, ooh, you bony, man. Oh, that's right. You got your shin guards down here. Kick him down there. Okay, but so if you come at me, I'll absorb it. As you go back, boom, I'll strike you. And as you break contact, then I kick you. Okay. Let's do a few more of these. Okay? You ready? Good. Look past me. Don't look at the hand. You can see the hand. Look here. Okay. Well, look past me. It's better. You know, like I try to look about 20 yards. And you're just there. Yeah? But if I can drive you 20 yards down the road, that's what I'm going to do. That's all right. Aha! See, you're making me work. Okay, that's Tondar again. There you go. See how you're threading the needle a different way? One way is this way, the other way is this way.
Leading with my punching on there.
But that's totally fine. You can go either way. Okay, outside. Outside. Oh, it's just slipping. Come, punch. See? Just slip. You notice that how in the you haven't got to the second segment. Okay. We have this move here where we trap. Okay, it's kind of like this. You can just slide in. Okay, so I may catch your arm as you come at me, and you just come right in.
And I trap it here if you've got good shoulder builder.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to take a little bit.
Well, without these things on, if you come, just a second. You can leave your phone. As you come, okay, I might let you come this far, and then I'll do one of these things to you. Okay, Chun, things that weren't necessarily taught to me as part of the Wing Chun curriculum, but have been acquired as a fighter along the road, I teach to my students. Okay, again, you catch it here, and you just go like that. Boom! And it's over. You don't have to be the strongest fighter, but it's important to have perfect form, to have superior speed, and to have the courage to fight. Because if you don't have the courage, you'll never be a fighter. Okay. And you got to be smarter than the other guy. If he's stronger than you, like Michael, he's going to throw a punch right at my chin. Okay? And normally I would respond with Tondar. Wow. But let's say Michael put on another 100 pounds, and he's 225 pounds. Or 245 pounds, sorry. Then he'd be a little bit heavier. Okay, and he's throwing that punch at me like this. Okay, I would probably block it bonks out, do a lock, and then come in like this. Notice how I catch his hand, smack him, and then come under his nose with the palm, or under his chin, or right to his throat with a hopefully fight-ending move. Okay, we've done Tondar. We're still doing pop. I think we should do a few more pop. Don't you? Okay. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit harder.
Okay.
I won't get any faster, but a little bit harder. Yeah, so you have to work on it. That's time.
That's time. Hot is
Pop, it's a slap. Yeah, that's it. Go straight.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Why, am I throwing crooked moves? That was better. There you go. And see, one thing I like to do, when you throw that punch, okay, let's say I do a pop like this. Okay? I immediately control the arm that I blocked originally.
Oh, you transfer.
And I transfer, and I strike here.
It's a lot. Go back.
Yeah, and then I just bring them back down, and it's over. So, a lot of these moves are just your first defense. I only teach one defense, because after that I want you to go offense. Okay. And another thing I wanted to show him, when you do that, let's say I just use one hand. I just go from here to here. Just boom. Just touch it. Boom, boom. Sorry. Boom. Okay. Boom. Boom. So, or, if they're going to throw a big round one like you just did, let it come around. Come down with them. Well, I want you to make sure you get this on the tape so you'll be able to use it. Another thing, when they throw the punch, okay, I'm going to use pop.
Straight or back?
Yeah, come here. Yeah, okay. So I've got him here. Look at this. Look at this. See? I can break his arm right here just by going like that with my chest. I can throw him off balance by just leaning forward into him, and I can take him down to the ground right there, and then finish him. Wow! I want to make sure you get some of this stuff down. Okay. Another thing that I do with pop, okay, I come low, okay, and then I'll step in. Notice how I have his wrist again. Come in, step through, and throw it. Okay? I think it's time for tea. Yeah. That's a lot.